Yo, yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV, back at y'all with another live, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. I hope y'all had a great day overall. Back at y'all with some more boxing talk on the road to 3K. We well into the 2,600 mark. About to hit that mid 2,600 mark at due time. Shout out to the nation and the mob for making this possible. We got some things that we currently need to discuss, but I'm gonna let a few of y'all get in here before we start this conversation, man. I'm gonna give it about 5 minutes, and we're gonna sit and we're gonna talk about these things. We had some things unfold this afternoon. We had the press conference with Teofimo Lopez, with Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Rolly Romero, Arnold Barbosa. You know what I'm saying? They was all in the building, man. We definitely going to talk about the press conference in its entirety, what I thought of it. And then, of course, we're going to talk about the blasphemous things that was said by Teofimo Lopez, you know, the racist remarks that he continues to make, and how they starting to face the music because they are getting pressed. And then we're going to talk about, you know, Ryan Garcia embracing PEDs. You feel what I'm saying? We're going to talk about that. Y'all seen it in the thumbnail, man, so we definitely going to talk about it. But until then, man, hit the likes. Let's get the algorithm on the up so the people know that Mazuma TV is live. We've been making a lot of noise lately, man. I got one of my most viewed videos today, man. 16K views on a short. You feel what I mean? Shout out to Mazuma TV Clips for making that possible. You feel what I mean? He's been a huge supporter of mine and has been helping me, you know, build the channel. So I'm highly appreciative. Thank you very much. Shout out to everybody that's in the comments so far. The boy StreamYard, he said, Rolly, Devin, Teo at the same table was weird. I definitely hear what you're saying, StreamYard, because on some real shit, it was kind of weird to see them all, you know, like in the same vicinity. You feel what I mean? Especially, you know, Devin and Ryan, since their altercation. Well, they're not their altercation, but the series of events that had happened between them. Is weird to see them in the same room almost a year later after all this, you know, all these things happened. You feel what I'm saying? I definitely see what you're saying. Forever Dedicated, what up? He said Barbosa a stepper. Barbosa with the shits. He definitely with the shits. He walk it, but he walk it like he talk it, man. He been out here. He been making some statements. He beat Jose Ramirez, former unified world champion, went overseas and beat Jack Catterall. Like, he doing his thing. He definitely doing his thing. And it's been a long time coming for him to get a world title shot. You know, he's been number one in the WBO for I don't know how long. Since he was with Top Rank, he's with Golden Boy now. You know, and Teofimo has been avoiding him for a very long time. What's the exact reason? I'm not sure. You know, Barbosa even got in the ring with Teo, trying to press him, and you know nothing has worked. But shout out to Turkey Al Sheik for putting this shit together. I guess he did a favor for Oscar De La Hoya, somebody he works with really closely, and he was able to make the fight happen. So it must have been a good amount of money that Teo couldn't refuse, because apparently, you know, he wasn't getting paid well when it was just Top Rank. You feel what I mean? Chris O.Y., what up? He said, watch the last stream over, bro. You're one hell of a father. Your son going to appreciate everything you did for him when he get older. Thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate the positive words and the encouragement that you constantly give me in the channel. If y'all ain't see the live last night, man, I left it up. I was thinking about deleting it, but I left it up. You know what I mean? Niggas' eyes got a little watery and shit, getting emotional, talk about my son and what I've been through with him. You feel what I mean? So if y'all saw it, y'all saw it. Coffee Plant, what up? Great Gambino, what up? Boxing with 2-4. J Cash, the money man, what up? I think I already, yeah. Shout out to everybody. Slime, what up? Great Gambino said, I'm over here thinking about matchups. What do you think? Who do you think will win between Roach and De Los Santos? That's a really good fucking fight, man. Now that Lamont Roach has, you know, shown what he's capable of doing against elite level fighters, aka Gervonta Davis, that makes a De Los Santos fight very interesting. You know, De Los Santos is a hell of a puncher. He's very explosive, and you know he got some slept on skills as well. You feel what I'm saying? But like I said yesterday, De Los Santos needs to get his ass in the ring, because with the inactivity that he's been plagued with recently, we don't know we don't know how he's looking right now. You feel what I'm saying? Lamont Roach, he's been in the mix. You know what I mean? He's fought last week. So I don't know. I'm not going to say that Roach will beat him. I'm not going to say that De Los Santos defeats Lamont. You know what I'm saying? I really need to see what De Los Santos is doing. I need to see what, how he bounces back off of that Shakur Stevenson loss. You feel what I mean? Of course, he didn't take any punishment, but he hasn't made any noise since then. So I think Lamont Roach's main objective in reality, De Los Santos, his objective, like what he needs to focus on is getting his ass back in the ring. You feel what I mean? But shout out to Lamont Roach. He definitely got my respect moving forward. You feel what I mean? This boxing world is some crazy shit. Some crazy shit that goes on in this boxing world. You feel me? But we 5 minutes in, man. So let's have this conversation. So today, in New York, huge press conference between, the fight card that's happening. Well, the fight card that's happening on May 2nd, when there's going to be Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez in the co-main event, Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero in the main event, and I think the opening bout is going to be Teofimo Lopez versus Arnold Barbosa. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? So they had their press conference today, and I was excited, man. I was looking forward to seeing the press conference. I knew that I felt like there was going to be a lot of animosity, a lot of back and forth, a lot of, hilarious moments that we could come and talk about on the live. And I ain't going to lie, there was some back and forths that had went on. It seemed like Teofimo Lopez was in his bag. He was looking for attention. He was looking to stir shit up and, take control of the press conference and stuff like that. But to my surprise, it was very quiet. Devin Haney didn't have much to say. Arnold Barbosa was talking back to Tio, but he wasn't like, going out of his way to talk the most shit. It seemed like he was just responding more than anything. Ryan Garcia, very quiet. He responded to Tio and stuff like that. But for the most part, he didn't really say anything. Rolly Romero didn't say anything. It seemed like the only ones that was really carrying the press conference in terms of like trash talk was Teofimo Lopez and a little bit of Arnold Barbosa. Besides that, it was a snooze fest. You feel what I mean? And look, I don't fuck with Teofimo Lopez at all. Y'all know how I feel about him. He even threw a racist remark towards Richardson Hitchens. You know what I'm saying? Talking about, I'm not a racist. Oh, go get him a banana and start talking about potassium, all this shit. Typical racist, derogatory comments that Teofimo Lopez is making. And at this point, bro, I heard 78 Sports talk about how he doesn't want to see any black fighters, get in trouble for putting hands on Tio and all this shit. And you know what? At this point, I agree with it, man. I feel like the higher ups need to come together and really force Teofimo Lopez to stop pushing these racist, comments, enforcing these racial stereotypes towards black fighters. Is getting really old at this point. And, they were quick to discipline or attempt to discipline Devin Haney when he was saying that no white boy could beat him and shit like that. Y'all need to reciprocate the same energy for Teofimo Lopez whenever he's talking crazy about black fighters. He said derogatory shit towards Terrence Crawford, Gervonta Davis, and now Richardson Hitchens. He's even said little shit about Devin Haney as well. His father doesn't really help the case neither with the derogatory shit that comes out of his mouth. Hence why he got his ass whooped in the gym for saying shit about black people in the past. So these guys are old school textbook racist. You feel what I'm saying? Tio saying he got a black grandson. Man, don't nobody give a fuck about that. You know how many racist people talk about, my wife is black. Oh, she makes me collard greens every night, man. Her cornbread, buddy, when I tell you her cornbread, there's no way I could be racist. I love a black woman. Bro, you having a sense of superiority over somebody? Like slave masters used to fuck their slaves, rape their slaves. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Miss me with the bullshit. That's something that's one of the biggest bullshit statements ever made. You know what I mean? Them slave masters used to creep into them shacks where them, slave masters' wives or, used to, and they used to do their thing and, used to impregnate these women by force. You feel what I mean? So whenever I hear that, bro, it refers me back to that time where we was 3/5 of them. You feel what I mean? Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. You feel me? Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. Just because you got a black wife, you got a black family member, you got a black best friend, does not deflect or take away from the fact that you are a racist. Simple and plain. So stop it. Miss me with the bullshit. Y'all could go try that with somebody else. Shout out to Ralph in the building. What up? But anyways, It was, I'm not gonna lie, man, it was a very disappointing press conference in my opinion. And that goofy ass what the fuck, this old, this lesbian looking ass nigga Doug Fisher, bro, he needs to never. Why do they keep choosing the corniest people to moderate these press conferences? For the David Benavidez Morel, they had the Spanish lady who barely knew any fucking English and kept interrupting the whole trash talk and was not allowing the fighters to speak. Then for the Gervonta Davis, what was that? Gervonta Davis and the Lamont Roach press conference, they had some fucking famous, this social media star, talking shit back and forth, and he ain't know shit about boxing. He ain't know what the fuck was going on. Now we got this nigga, Doug Fisher or whatever the fuck his name is, you know what I'm saying, with this motorcycle gang ponytail this nigga got, looking like a straight up lesbian, a butch, coming on here and just cutting people off and not allowing the fighters to trash talk. Bro, the media is there. They're looking for something to go viral so they could make money and post shit on it and make their channels big. The fans are tuned in because they want to see some drama, some back and forth shit. But for some reason, this dickhead Doug Fisher is going out of his way to cut Teofimo Lopez off from talking. If he's gonna be the only one doing the entertaining shit, we just gonna let's hear what the fuck he gotta say. I would rather hear Teofimo Lopez spew dumb shit out of his mouth like he typically does, rather than just sitting there, you know what I mean, just going through the typical, how was your training camp, man? This is the biggest fight of your career. How are you feeling? Well, how did you react when you got this call? Like bullshit ass questions. What do you have to say to your fans? All the fans is out there supporting you, cheering you on. What do you have to say to them? Bullshit, boring, fucking trash ass press conference, man. I was very disappointed, bro. But I appreciate Teofimo Lopez's efforts in trying to make it entertaining. And Ryan Garcia was like, man, shut up, man. I'm tired of this shit, man. Man, you, man. And then Tio like, damn, dog, like let's get some shit like started in here. And Ryan's like, no, man, this is just what we're gonna do. This is just what we're gonna do. Like, Ryan, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You see what I mean? You shouldn't even be raising your voice to say shit. If everybody else was talking, you should be the only one shutting the fuck up. Because technically, as of right now, you still banned from boxing. Your ban has not been lifted yet. So you shouldn't even be at the press conference on some real shit. You should be nowhere near any type of boxing events. None of that shit. You fucking drug cheat. You feel me? So, man, listen. Barbosa and Teofimo, they had an entertaining back and forth, but Doug Fisher kept cutting it off. Devin Haney quiet as shit, acting like the people ain't want to been. He acting like the people don't want to hear from him for well over a year, and he ain't got shit to say. Jose Ramirez, that nigga boring as fuck. He ain't never had nothing entertaining to say. Rolly Romero, his goofy ass just sitting there, you know what I mean, droop, falling off his bottom lip. He ain't got shit to say. What, like all these niggas just sitting there just boring as fuck. The fans excited, you know what I'm saying? And y'all should be doing what y'all can to promote this card. Y'all just sitting there hella quiet, like, oh, well, the fight's going to sell itself. Y'all niggas is goofy. Why was Richardson Hitchens, who's not even a part of the card, this dude, Africa, is not even on the bill. He's not on the card. And he brought more entertainment to the press conference than the niggas who's fighting on the card. This dude, Africa, was like talking shit, calling T.O. a racist and all this shit. Calling out Arnold Barbosa like, yo, if you upset Tio, can we unify next? And Barbosa was like, yeah, man, let's get it. And he was like, all right, Tio, don't let this nigga pack you up, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? We even got media members who start this dickhead, what's his name? Punch drunk boxing. You know what I mean? He interjecting and defending a racist and all this shit. He acting like he ready to rock out. He from Harlem. And the dude was like, the nigga Punch Drunk told the boy, I'll smack the shit out you. Or he said some shit like that. The boy was like, come smack me, nigga. He ain't take a step. Then he's like, where you from, nigga? He was like, I'm from Harlem. The boy said, fuck Harlem. Ain't do nothing. So these niggas right here, bro, they just be talking. This nigga had a Debo button down on, looking goofy as shit. You know what I mean? These niggas is cornballs, cuz. Super cornballs. You know what I mean? Low Nose Boxing, what up? I can't send no links because I'm going directly live through my laptop, and for some reason, they're not allowing me to, talk. You know what I mean? I could probably do a phone call or something, and we could just listen to you talk over the phone, but that's about it. Nate Johnson said, "Put Hitchens versus Matias on the card." That's a brilliant idea, brother, and I'm sure Turkey Al-Sheikh is capable of making that happen. But in reality, man, I don't know if that's something that Hitchens wants. Look, man, I don't know. I think he's more focused on unification. I think that he wants to go around T.O. I think he wants to go around Matias. I really feel like he wants to try to get a fight going, unification specifically, before the IBF mandates him to fight Subriel. You feel what I'm saying? That's just my personal opinion. Yeah, call me, Lo. Call me through Instagram or something. But try to call me through Instagram because that's the only way I don't got your number. But Marissa, what's going on? All right, we got Lo calling right now. Yo.
What's good?
What's going on, y'all? Can y'all hear Lo? Let me know if y'all can hear Lo.
You hear me?
I hear you. I just want to see if YouTube can hear you.
What I was gonna say was, being that you just mentioned, I think Subriel.
Yes, sir.
You know that real quick. What I was suggesting they should do with that division, being that division is heating up, they need to scratch that whole Boots versus Teal 147, Teal versus Ryan, Teal versus. They need to scratch that for now. What they should do is have Subriel and Hitchens fight in June. Puerto Rican Day Parade weekend in Madison Square Garden. They should do that, right?
Uh-huh.
The winner of that fights Teal, assuming Teal handles his business. Let's say October or November.
Okay.
Right around that same time, you could put Gabby Antoine Russell rematching with Alberto Puello, and then later on, 2026, we get the undisputed. Whoever does come out on top, in my opinion, is going to go down as the greatest junior welterweight of all time. Because for me, this is the best era of 140 that I can recall. This is better than the Bud Crawford era. This might be even better than the Danny Garcia era. And this is better than the Julio Cesar Chavez era as far as 140. Whoever becomes the top dog in this era right now is the man, in my opinion. And should be elevated as number one or number two or number three pound for pound. Whoever pulls that off.
I'll definitely say top three. I don't know about 2 or 1, but I could probably get him the number 3 spot for sure. 140 does have a lot of talent, and it definitely, in my opinion, is better than the Crawford era. And it's definitely better than the Danny Garcia era, in my opinion, because even though Danny Garcia was a part of like a talented division, a lot of these guys, some of those guys were over the hill or, and things of that nature, like Eric Morales and Zab Judah and shit like that. But this current era of 140, man, has some phenomenal talent that's still youthful. And a lot of them are in their prime right now. Even Teofimo Lopez's opponent, Arnold Barbosa, he ain't nobody to really sleep on. Barbosa could rumble. That's a good fight. That's a slept on one in all honesty.
He built up a good resume. See, at first, he'd been calling Teo out, and Teo never fought him. Teo redeemed himself by fighting him. And I see why Teo didn't fight him, because Teo's the kind of guy, he likes whether we don't like his antics outside the ring or not. He rumbles dudes in the ring, but when they work, Barbosa ain't do nothing at the time. Barbosa built up a resume. He beat Jose Ramirez.
Mm-hmm.
He beat Pedraza. And he beat Jack Catterall, which surprised me because I was picking Jack Catterall. So he definitely earned that shot. You got Gary Antoine Russell, solid. You got Sandor Martin looked good too. I thought he pulled
No,
that.
yo, but I thought Sandor pulled it off. I thought he edged it.
And the duty forward Puello is not it's not a slouch neither.
Yeah,
You know,
Puello can rumble.
You got Hitchens, you know, you got Ryle was still a good fighter just because we lost. We're not gonna throw him away. You still got the other Mexican kid that Ryan knocked out. He turned out to be a solid dude.
Yeah, bro. Look, man, you raising some great points, and like I said, I do think that this era at 140 is one of the best that we've seen in a very long time. A lot of these guys are in their prime. You know, some of these guys are undefeated, and a lot of them are, you know, youthful. You know what I'm saying? I don't got a lot of damage and shit like that. Gary Antoine Russell, he looked phenomenal. Rayo, he was overmatched in all honesty, just a bad style, but he's still game. He can make some shit happen at 140. You know, of course we got Teo, of course we got Hitchens, of course we, you know.
Devin and Ryan was staying at 140, make that division lift. The truth is, 147 is really a graveyard. The only names there besides Boots is Brian Norman Jr. and Mario Barrios. Just because
below, this is what I think. I think 47 gonna be the new 40 within the next 2 to 3 years, because all we hearing is how these guys want to move up. You know, or contemplating the idea of moving up. We hear Teo talking about, you know, going to 47 and rumbling. We're hearing Hitchens talking about moving up possibly and getting those fights. You know, a lot of these guys that's at 40, these talented guys that we know, you know, Gary Antoine most likely going to stay down there because he makes the weight effortlessly. But, you know, there's a lot of guys who, you know, are contemplating moving up, or at least see the fights at 47 happening in the near future. So, you know, 40 is popping right now, and 47 is kind of down and out. But I think that the tables are going to turn between those two divisions within the next 2 to 3 years for sure.
Yeah, but for this tournament to go through, man, that'll be something that can be resolved by next year. Like, you know what I mean? They got to do Subriel and Hitchens. And I don't like, and it's crazy because I spoke to Hitchens. I met Hitchens when I was out in Bosie's. Hitchens is a cool dude. You know, you see him on TV, brashing, talking crazy. One-on-one, he's a cool brother. And they have a lot of respect for Subriel for some reason. Because when I was interviewing them, I asked them which ones will be the hardest out of all the guys. I mentioned Teo, Devin, and I mentioned Subriel.
Who you had asked?
Hitchens. When I interviewed Hitchens in Bosie, he's on my channel, and Hitchens said that Subriel will be his toughest fight.
Bro, they know that. They know that, bro, and that's why they haven't been really reluctant in fighting him in the first place. You know, when Subriel had the IBF, Hitchens could have easily, you know, try to get that fight on and popping. He chose not to. You know what I mean? He actually tried to make a claim that the IBF, he wasn't really fucking with the IBF. Yeah, then when Leon Paro, like we seen the interviews on YSM, and I spoke about this on the channel multiple times within the last few days. And then he goes, he sees Leon Paro beat Subriel. He realizes that's a easier style for him to beat, and he goes, and all of a sudden he's a strong advocate for the IBF. Like it was just so weird to me. You feel what I'm saying? So of course they see that's a bad style matchup for him. You know what I mean? Because we kind of seen what pressure fighters do to Hitchens. They make him feel very uncomfortable.
Yeah. I mean, in a way, I feel Hitchens could beat him, but I can also see why Subriel wins because based on what I've seen from Subriel, his weaknesses and his strength. If you can't hurt him, he's going to Antonio Margarito you down. He's going to go in there and throw a million punches. However, if you're able to get his respect, he's going to keep his hands in his pocket for a while. He did it with Paro. He did it with the other dudes that he was able to break. Yeah.
Paro was able to bring some sort of physicality too. And I don't know if Hitchens cut like that, bro. It seemed like he don't really want to get into a fight. He just want to box niggas. He want to fight his fight, outclass you, you know what I'm saying, and take you to the scorecards if he don't, you know, hit you with a good shot. I don't know. I don't know that. What fight did you watch where he went through some sort of adversity that made you think that he was really a dog?
Well, when he fought the Argentinian boy.
You talking about Lemos?
He fought Lemos, you know, he fought in the pocket. You know, he tried to fight him. He did fight him.
That was one of his shakiest performances, Lo.
Yeah, but he fought though. What I'm saying is,
Yeah, but you and Gustavo Lemos, much credit to him. You know, he fought a good fight in that fight, but I think Subrel and he struggled with Lemos. We're not gonna sit here and lie, you know. But Subrel brings a whole different. He brings a whole different level to this pressure fighting shit.
If you can't hurt Subrel,
you in trouble.
Because Hitchens kind of give me a Vernon Forrest type of vibe. Remember Vernon Forrest in boxing, the outside, he had all the skills in the world. But if you come at him reckless, that was his kryptonite. That's how Ricardo Mayorga was able to beat him twice.
Yeah. Look, a lot of people be looking at me like I don't fuck with Hitchens and things of that nature. I just feel like he got to show me something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like as boxing fans today, we be giving motherfuckers credit before they earn it. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, Hitchens, obviously he's talented. He got one of the best jabs in the game, if you ask me. But I do think he's limited offensively. And I don't think that he really likes to fight. I think he got I feel like that he don't really like being taken out of his comfort zone. You feel what I'm saying? And I think Hitchens will experience that with Subrel. And I think that's something that he would rather go around instead of challenging it head on.
That's the fight that should happen to me.
I agree.
They dropped the ball with Subrel the first time. They were supposed to market him to the Puerto Rican fan base, and they dropped the ball, right? This is a chance to do it. You put him in New York City. You put him in New York City against another New York City fighter who's brash, who's a trash talker. This is like when they put Miguel Cotto in the Garden, right? Mm-hmm. They gave him Zab Judah. Zab Judah was Brooklyn. Zab Judah's brash. Hitchens is the same thing, right? If Subrel can beat Hitchens in New York City, Madison Square Garden, that will make him a star. That will make him a big name.
And they could also bring that shit back to Puerto Rico. I know most likely it ain't gonna happen, but they could also spin that shit back to Puerto Rico because Hitchens he just fought over there. That's where his last fight was at. So they familiar with him over there.
Yeah, but it makes more sense to do that fight in New York instead of Puerto Rico.
I agree. I'm just saying, like, in terms of options.
He's gonna have the fans. Hitchens gonna have fans in New York. He's from Brooklyn.
Yeah, I agree.
Subrel's gonna have the Puerto Rican fans, so that's gonna bring both fan bases.
I agree. I agree. It's a great fight. It's a great fight. But I don't know if that's I'm not saying that Hitchens is like ducking. I haven't seen it yet. I gotta see when the IBF enforces it. But right now, it seems like that's not something he really looking forward to. If we being real,
I keep hearing that they're thinking about putting Cambosos, and I don't want that fight.
Nate Johnson said today's 140's got Teo, Matias, Hitchens, Barbosa, Gary, Puello, Rayo, Paro, Martin, Pitbull, Duarte, Prograis, Lemos, Angel Fierro, etc. Not a bad era. Very good styles and names. Absolutely, Nate.
Yeah, and you still got the old man too. The old man that knocked out Rolly that he robbed him.
Barroso. Then he just got stopped not too long ago though, right?
Yeah, he thinks he did get stopped, but he's still a puncher though.
Nah, he dangerous. He dangerous for sure.
Right now, nobody really my thing is that nobody really solidified themselves in the division. Even though Teo's the main champion, but Teo's been a little inactive. He had two wins after the Josh Taylor win. But nobody's really held it down. Like these belts are just being passed around, you know.
Right.
Puello had it, but then I think he got stripped of it. I don't know what happened. He had the belt, right?
Who?
Puello got the belt. Dominican dude.
Yeah, I think what happened was, Devin Haney, he was going to take a layoff from boxing, so they pretty much made him champion in recess. And I think they had Puello. I think wasn't Puello like the interim or some shit, and they elevated him.
Before that, though. They gave Rolly his belt. Right? He was the champion before that. Something.
Oh yeah. He might have. Let me see. Let me look that up real quick. Because they was calling him a 2-time champion. I forgot about that shit.
He was. Because he was gonna fight Rolly.
They said he failed a drug test.
Yeah, he did. And he pulled out.
Oh, I didn't know that. I forgot. Well, I knew that, but I forgot about that.
The bottom line is that the belt's been passing around, right? Subrel had the belt, Parrow got it. And then Hitchens and then Pitbull took it from Rolly. This dude
he tested for the same shit Conor Benn got popped with.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, so this nigga's a drug cheat.
He might be the most difficult style there because he's tall, lanky.
Wow, he's a drug cheat.
Exactly.
Motherfucker. I forgot about that shit.
They should do that tournament. I'm telling you, Turkey should do that tournament. And that fight's not gonna headline nowhere. Gary Antoine and Puello, they should throw that on the Hitchens card. They do Hitchens Super Bowl in New York. Remember, Puello's Dominican.
Yeah.
And Gary Antoine is from DC, so he's still in the East Coast. You can throw that on the same card.
So I guess the WBA stripped him because he tested positive.
Yeah, and Rolly ended up fighting the old dude.
Yeah, for Barroso for the vacant belt.
Exactly.
Wow.
Then Pitbull beat him, right? And then Ryle beat Pitbull, and then Gary Antoine beat Ryle. And then Puello came back and won against Gary for the vacant belt that Devin Haney left behind.
I completely forgot about Puello, bro. Wow.
Yeah.
But yo, Lo, did you catch the press conference?
I wanted to go, man. I couldn't because I work at 3:00. If it would have been early, I would have went. But no, I didn't go. But I watched it though.
No, I'm saying, yeah, you watched it. What did you think of it? What did you think of it?
I think they put at least on Teo, man. They put a muzzle on him, which was stupid. He's the only one that was selling the fight. Him and Barbosa and Hitchens, they were doing their thing, man. Ryan Garcia was acting all decent and trying to be bougie. Like, come on, man. The last press conference, you was on a drug cocaine aspirin binge, and now all of a sudden you want to sit here and be like, oh, let's be calm, let's be reserved. Devin was just being Devin, and Ramirez always been dull. You know what I mean?
Right.
Teo crazy though. A lot of stuff he was saying, and you know what I don't like when people be putting stuff in the comment section, calling him. I don't want to curse in the channel. They call him the P word and all that. Anybody that gets inside the ring, it can't be soft. You might be laid back, but to get in that ring and fight another skilled fighter, you can't be soft. At the end of the day, when you seen the final face-off with him, when B-Hop was there and everything, you seen Teo's whole demeanor switch. These guys are gladiators. You can't run around calling them.
Yeah, he low key was talking greasy to B-Hop. You peeped that shit?
Yeah, he did, because B-Hop, because he felt slighted about the belt when B-Hop was putting the belt, when B-Hop was letting this dude wear the belt, you know what I mean?
Yo, I ain't gonna lie though. I was agreeing with Teo in that moment. He was like, man, he ain't earned, man, take that fuck, man. I ain't looking him in his eyes and say, he take that fucking belt off. He ain't earned that shit. And I don't even know what was that belt? That was like some fatal, that was like a Fatal Fury belt, some shit like that. But regardless, yo, he really made yo, he kind of snapped over there. He kind of snapped on B-Hop. But yeah, man, I just found like Teo, he typically be saying like a lot of bullshit. He be going on these little weird.
He really goes from like, sometimes I wonder if he's doing it and if he's trying to be in character, that's really him. You know what I mean? But I guess it's really him. And like he'll start talking about the universe and the stars and all of that.
Yeah, that's what I be talking about. He be going on the weird tangents, but at the end of the day, regardless, nobody else doing shit, so you might as well let the nigga talk. Ain't nobody else like, what is we doing?
Yeah, he was frustrated. Like, yo, we trying to sell this fight, bro. You know
what I mean?
And
and then Doug Fisher like Teo. Bro, shut the fuck up and let him talk. Don't nobody want to hear your dyke looking ass talk, cuz.
Let him talk, bro. And he was right. He's the only one there with a championship. He's the only one there fighting an undefeated top 5 in his division guy right now. Come on, bro. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. My thing with Teo, he got to start. I'm not saying throw it away and get, street fight and get in trouble, but he needs to start being a little more bolder when these people are trying to press him, trying to talk crazy outside the ring, because now people are getting too comfortable. You got people going at him, talking crazy about his father. You can rumble. You know what I mean? You don't want to get to the point where at a face-off, a fighter's going to get too comfortable and they're going to try to do what Floyd did with Victor Ortiz and try to put him. I don't think he's going to let somebody touch him, grab him by his neck like that, like Victor Ortiz. I don't get that. But I'm just saying, you don't want nobody to get that comfortable. Like, even Ryan was low-key yelling and screaming at him, whatever. Like, I would have told Ryan, yo, shut the fuck up, man. Straight up and down.
Dead ass, bro. Dead ass, bro. That shit was very disappointing. I ain't gonna lie to you. But let me look at these comments real quick. He talking about waves spinning. I don't even got no waves. Why you dicking here? Nate Johnson said, yeah, Dougie Fisher tripping. His speech was long as fuck too. Nobody came for him. He's a background guy, so stay in the background or get Max Kellerman. At least Max Kellerman let niggas talk. Like, he used to do them HBO face-offs and shit, and he used to let niggas say their piece. You know what I'm saying? And then he will ask his questions in between.
He'll low-key instigate it too.
Yeah, he like that shit, bro. But that's what the fuck you need. You need, bro.
That part, he told Margarito, he just shows footage. What do you think about that? Like,
yeah, he was like, yeah, but what is that? What is that? Like, he was pressing the shit, but that's what the fuck you need. You need to stir up that drama to sell these fights. No fans are gonna be, no casual boxer fans are gonna be intrigued with the fight if the press conference boring as fuck. Like, we need some shit stirred up. Like what Chris Eubank and Conor Ben doing, that shit is genius. That shit had 130,000 people. Bro, Lo, check this out. They sold that shit in those 2 days that they did the press conferences. Conor Ben and Chris Eubank. It's already a historical fight because they sons of legends, right? But the promotion with the nigga getting smacked with the egg and all that shit, and the back and forth, trash talk, bro. They had 130,000 people waiting in a queue to buy tickets for their fight because they promoting the fucking fight.
Yeah, but it's crazy. As much as boxing has evolved in many areas, there's a lot of areas where it hasn't evolved. You know what I mean? And with production, with color commentary, all that, man. Like, I miss the HBO days. Even Showtime. Showtime had a good telecast. They had good quality. They had good blow-by-blow team. You can't find that, bro. There's no more Navi Merchants, Jim Lampley's, Paulie Malignaggi. They took him off. You know what I mean? They got rid of Andre Ward. They got rid of Max Kellerman. Like, the commentators on the zone is trash, bro.
Bro, nobody want to hear Chris Mannix. Sergio Mora, I feel like he got potential, but like it just, the commentary just don't click with him. And then,
bro, even the documentaries is trash, bro. HBO 24/7.
Bro, the zone has the worst commentary in the game, bro.
But even the build-up, remember HBO 24/7?
Those was the best, bro. I still watch them to this day, bro. Whenever I got nothing to do,
I got a lot of them saved.
I watched them too. I still watch them. I was like a couple weeks ago, I was watching the Fleet and Cotto joint, where Cotto was shadow boxing in the beach and shit. That was my shit.
The Cotto Margarito one was one of the best ones ever. It was only 2 episodes. The Cotto Margarito one was one of the best. Floyd, Ricky Hatton, Floyd, Oscar De La Hoya. You know what I mean? The narrator was awesome. The music they used to put in the background was awesome. It's like right now, it's just not. I don't know. It's not as exciting as before.
It's a fact, bro. It's because they like a lot of this should be microwave shit, bro. Like, a lot of these niggas not really putting money behind their shit, and then it's like the people that are like in charge of like these boxing networks and shit. They don't know what's best. They don't know what's best for like fight fans because they not fight fans themselves. Like, they wouldn't know to try to get Jim Lampley. But I seen Turkey Al-Sheikh lock Jim Lampley in on a little deal. So that's dope. So at least we're gonna get Jim Lampley back. Max Kellerman.
It's funny you mentioned that. If I'm not correct, I swear I read recently. I don't know if it's Jim Lampley. Somebody from the old school is actually gonna work that night.
It's Jim Lampley. Jim Lampley announced it on Turkey Al-Sheikh. Jim Lampley back.
Okay.
So he's gonna be commentating the May 2nd thing, I believe. But you gotta get Max Kellerman back. Shit, if you could get Roy Jones locked in, bro, get that shit popping, bro. Like,
Andre Ward was good too.
Andre Ward was a great commentator. He was a great commentator, well spoken, and he knew what he was talking about.
Lennox Lewis was good.
Lennox Lewis, I don't know if he still got something going on with PBC, but if not, shit, grab Lennox too. Grab Lennox too. Yeah, man. But Paulie said that racist shit, man. He should have never did that. He got a little too cocky. He got a little too confident.
You remember when Showtime now I'm going back in the 90s. You know what I mean? I know you're younger, but I know you watch a lot of old shit. You know what I mean? The 90s, Showtime had the old white boxer that retired, Bobby Chess, as a commentator. They had Bobby Chess, and they had the fight doctor, Freddie Pacheco, right?
Mm-hmm.
And HBO had Lennox Lewis, No, my bad. HBO had George Foreman at the time.
George Foreman was a great commentator too. He just said that he said he didn't like it because it felt like a job.
He was a little biased with certain people. Like he was an Oscar De La Hoya fanboy. Like he was really riding Oscar De La Hoya. But everybody got their favorites. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's normal at this point. These commentators these days too. They only be highlighting the niggas they like and what they doing well. They don't never say what the other guys doing well. Like all these commentators, bro, they be pushing agendas. Jim Lampley was biased too.
Hell yeah, Jim Lampley was a huge fanny packer ball.
Remember that shit? Bang, bang, bang.
He be missing.
Yeah, Pacquiao throw 5 punches, miss 3 of them. He like bang, bang. I'm like, bro.
He like the Trinidad. I remember Trinidad for Vargas, and I remember to this day because I was watching the fight the other day on my computer. He was like, "Yo, he doesn't do too." He said he don't do too many things different, but what he does with passion. Power shots, power shots, power shots. Try to stand in front of me. I'm coming for you. That shit had me dying, bro.
Bro, he be tripping. Yeah. They be getting in their zone, bro.
Trinidad was the man, bro. I don't care what
to this day.
No fighter, period, could do a fight party type of fight like Trinidad. When Trinidad fought, that was like a / fight party / Puerto Rican festival.
Can somebody pack up lamb chops, please? Thank you. Can somebody just do that for me? They packed that nigga up with the quickness. Shout out to Ralph. I think Anonymous was on it too, but I think Ralph beat him to it.
I'm only thinking you're talking about lamb chops for real.
Nah, some nigga named Lamb Chops in the chat, and he's like a master dick eater, so we had to pack him up. But yeah, man, very disappointing press conference. So what did you think? Did you see Ryan Garcia's video with the T-shirt that he had?
Yeah, I seen it. He had the Oscar shirt.
Yeah, it's like God Osterine or some shit like that. What you think of that? What you think of that?
I mean, once again, right? At first you acting decent, you acting like you normal all of a sudden, but then you still doing trolling antics.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's something that you need to be trolling about. Like, you should be ashamed of that. I feel like that just goes to show that he's not embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? He don't feel guilty for what he did. And he really don't give a fuck about like the integrity of the sport.
Once again, the hypocrisy, right? He was going at Teal about the racist things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, look at the things you done said, bro. They're both out of pocket, period, as far as the racist statements that they were saying. But Ryan Garcia said way more worse stuff than what Teal said. That was real racist. Like, that was uncalled for. Like, that's the kind of stuff you should get banned for, the things he was saying.
Yeah, the only one that stood up to Ryan was the WBC. Everybody else, it was like, they just giving him a pass. Like, it's disgusting, bro.
You know what's funny? Because these fighters are all being all cool with him. Like, they talking about, we're going to ban this one. But then Keyshawn and Shakur go on live with him, and they acting old Joe with him.
Facts. I held them accountable for that, too. But, yeah, man, like, seeing that shirt, bro, it's disgusting, bro. Like, it just really filled me with rage. Like, I don't know. Some people just brush it off and shit because they not, like, all the way invested in boxing. Like, boxing is my life, bro. Like, this is how I make a living. This is what I want to do with the rest. Like, I want to do this for the rest of my life. And, I competed in the sport, been a part of the sport for many years. And, I done been a part of plenty of world-class training camps. Huh?
You told me you had like some kind of condition or whatever that.
Yeah, I had to fall back because of health issues. But regardless, I still give my life to this sport. You know what I mean? Just like everybody else do, that's a part of the game, right? So, and, I remember those training camps being hard and cutting weight and making sacrifices and, not cutting any corners. So when I see somebody at the top of the game that's blatantly cutting corners and pretty much saying fuck you to everybody and you just going to do whatever you want and disrespect the sport, bro, that shit really burns like it just makes my blood boil. You feel what I mean? So when I see him and his flunky ass brother, what's his brother name? What's Ryan Garcia flunky at?
Henry Garcia.
I think that's his dad. Whatever. His other brother, his flunky ass brother, his sidekick or whatever. They over there laughing and thinking that shit all funny, bro. Like shit like that, bro. Like it really make me feel like you don't deserve to be in this sport. And I really hope that like karma whoops this nigga ass at the end of his career, bro. Like the way that he carrying himself and just acting like it's okay to be, partaking in this kind of shit, and you just making a mockery of the sport, bro.
Speaking of Ryan, I wonder how that training camp is gonna work out. Like he's supposed to be playing, even though Tio was interviewed, and I seen Tio say that he's still gonna be a part of that camp. Now whether him and Ryan Garcia are gonna get along or not, that's another story. But he's still gonna go to Reynoso's camp to work on certain things.
I'm sure.
How's that gonna work?
Most likely.
Reynoso got to train all three of them, and then Canelo got to fight the next day in Riyadh.
Yeah, that's actually pretty interesting. I didn't even think about that.
What I was thinking? Because Turkey's gonna be out here, but I heard Turkey's gonna be out here for that show, and then Turkey got to fly back to Saudi. So I'm assuming that Reynoso's gonna be out here to work both of their corners, and then he's probably gonna fly back with Turkey to go be with Canelo for that fight.
Or, damn, that's tough, bro. Yeah, because Reynoso don't really work with nobody that could, like, how like Robert Garcia would have like a couple niggas fighting in the same weekend, and he'll have like his team split up. Like Eddie Reynoso would be on his own. He'd be dolo. So I don't think he'll like bring one coach over there and have another coach and have himself over here. He might just do that. That's gonna be exhausting. That's gonna be a motherfucker. But yeah, I didn't even think about that. But in terms of them, I don't think they're gonna be training together. I think what Eddie's gonna do is just separate them. I think he's gonna separate them entirely. So I don't know the time frames, obviously, but let's say like he'll have Ryan come in at 12 o'clock, do a training session with him, get Ryan up out of there, and then Tio will probably come in at 3 o'clock.
That'll be some good work. Like if Ryan and Tio were to spar with each other, especially that Tio is fighting the taller guy. But the way they're going at it with each other, that'll be competitive. Like Ryan might try to clip him, and Tio might try to clip him also. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta keep them.
That wouldn't be healthy for neither one of them going into the fight.
Yeah, you gotta keep them away from each other, man. Just hire regular sparring partners and get that shit now. Because neither one of them are sparring partners, to be real. Like so I mean, I wouldn't do that if I was Eddie. Like if I'm trying to make my money and bring them into the fight as close to 100% as possible, I'm not having them work with each other because they fuck around and tear each other apart.
Yeah,
you feel what I'm saying? So,
how do you think that fight will play out if that ever happens?
I think Tio's the more intelligent fighter, right? And he has more levels. He has more dimensions to his game. There's more shit that he. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like with if Tio is focused, because sometimes he be losing focus, and sometimes he get a little bit macho in there, throw caution to the wind. All he got to do is neutralize that left hook. And if you don't know how to neutralize a left hook at this point in your career, you know what I mean? Like, what good are you really? So I think Tio has the intelligence, huh?
Devin couldn't neutralize the left hook.
But he could have neutralized the left hook, but he chose he threw caution to the wind. You know what I'm saying? To try to step the grind.
You're a trainer, right?
Yeah.
You're a trainer.
Yeah.
If, let's say you was in Tio's corner, right? You working with Tio for that fight.
Okay.
What would your game plan be for him based on everything that he has, his attributes, to use it to his best ability to beat Ryan? How would you have him fight Ryan?
First of all, we getting rid of that left hook. Just like I said, like we neutralizing that motherfucker. So if that means like Tio is gonna have to walk to his left, you know what I'm saying? To avoid Ryan Garcia from planting his feet and being in position to shoot that left hook. Another thing you could do, you could take a page out of Gervonta Davis's book and bait the left hook. Because what Gervonta Davis was doing, he was putting the lead hand out, attempting to get Ryan Garcia to shoot the left hook. Ryan Garcia don't be thinking in there. A lot of the shit he be doing be impulsive, right? So what he'll do is he'll frame Ryan to throw the left hook. He'll roll underneath and attempt to counter. So you could also do that. So it's like there's so many things you could do. You could jab at the back. Tio could jab at the lead hand. There's a lot of shit he could do. He could jab at the lead hand to keep Ryan Garcia's lead hand on the defense instead of offense. There's a lot of shit he could do. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, nice, right. And he's gonna be athletic. Like Tio's good at getting low. Like I wouldn't just rely on just keeping the hand up the whole time because sometimes the punch can go around the hand, can go around the guard. You have to go underneath that. For Tank, it was easy because Tank is very athletic, and Tank is also built short to the ground. So it was easier for Tank to get low. Tio would have to get low. But the thing with Tio, he would have to make sure that he keeps that hand up, he doesn't drop his hand, and he doesn't get careless. You know what I mean? That's it. If he does that and counter punches and runs Ryan into some big shots and goes to the body, I can see him getting him out of there. He fights focused.
Right. There's so many ways to take away the left hook or just the lead hand in general.
Now,
Tio got smart people behind him though, so you know what I mean. He could do that. I've seen Tio neutralize people. I've seen him neutralize Loma's angles,
bro,
and they fight.
He fought Lomachenko, bro. That shit was brilliant. Like,
Yeah. So
fight, I thought he was just gonna go in there and bulldog. He literally took his angles away, and then Loma was scared to punch with him because Loma knew that every time he would try to punch, Tio was countering and punching with him, so he kept his hands in his pocket.
right.
Until the last 4 rounds, and then he just went crazy. He started letting his hands go, whatever.
I think Tio has the advantage, but he has to fight just like anybody else that fights Ryan. You got to fight disciplined, defensive game plan. You got to be disciplined defensively because Ryan got enough pop and speed on that punch where you know what I mean, you don't see it, and then you looking up at the lights type shit. Like you can't really make too many mistakes with him. His hook is that devastating. So you know what I mean? Like you gotta be on angles when you fighting him. You just gotta be smart and stick to the plan. I think Tio could do it. You know what I mean? But if he go in there reckless like Haney did, then it's gonna be a bad night for him.
You know what's crazy? I don't think Shakur could beat Ryan. At one point I thought otherwise. Now I don't think Shakur beats Ryan. I think his power would discourage him and have him fighting in an overly defensive manner where he's gonna run. Cause see, a lot of people have a bad tendency of judging a fighter based on the performance. A lot of people are saying now that this guy could do this to Tank just because what Lamont did. I still stand on Tank beating almost everybody else, despite what Lamont Roach did. Because Shakur's not going to stand in the pocket and catch and shoot. Lamont Roach, you got to be able to trust your defense to do that. Lamont Roach stood in the pocket, and he was catching and shooting. And he wasn't scared to get hit if he did get hit.
Right. And then like Lamont, he took a lot of steam off of Gervonta Davis's punches too because he was like his defense and his stance was real like secure. So it was like when Tank would like throw little sneaky, when he tried to sneak in like little punches, probably like a small percentage of that shit would actually like do damage. You feel what I'm saying? Like a lot, like he was landing on Lamont, but it wasn't nothing like crazy clean where it was like Lamont had to go out. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that power was taken off of them punches because of how tight Lamont defense was. But he did his thing though.
You know what Lamont did that I like though? Lamont was transitioning a lot from the regular conventional stance, high guard, regular. He would square up, and then he would get right into the Philly shell real fast and take the angle away. You know what I mean? He was doing that because some fighters go in there and right away they're showing that they're in the shell. You know, he'll go in there with a regular stance and then go right into the shell. He was switching it up. He was giving Tank different moves with his defense. That was very intelligent. I really slept on Lamont Roach. I really did.
Yeah, what I liked about what Lamont Roach did was how well he was countering Tank's counters, bro. Like Tank would slip and shoot some shit, but then like Lamont would see it. Like you could tell he studied the shit out of Tank, bro, because he knew what to do immediately after Tank would shoot one of his little, slip uppercuts and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. He was countering Tank's counters, which I thought was pretty dope. And like it was just the mentality for me, bro. Like how like Lamont really did not take no for an answer, bro. Like he refused to go out. Like he knew in his heart he wasn't going out like that. And he refused to believe like Tank was like this fucking, this big, big motherfucker that everybody was fearing. Like he was like, I ain't about to be like none of these niggas. Like we just gonna have to rumble. And like Tank will land some shit, and Tank will look at him to see if like Tank will hit the nigga, and then like he'll he'll like check to see if that had an effect on Lamont, and like Lamont was just like unfazed, bro.
Tank looked like he was starting to wilt mentally. Like, I don't want to throw this jacket on anybody just like that because he hasn't happened before. But Tank looks like he give me the kind of vibe that he might have a little no mosh in him.
He just, bro, and I've said this years ago. Like, I've heard stories about Tank where he been in heated sparring sessions and he'll dead ass quit and walk out of the ring. I heard this shit from niggas who was actually a part of his training camps. Like, he had a lot of Philly fighters in his training camps that would help him get ready for fights early on in his career. And bro, he would dead ass. They said when shit would get hot, he would literally walk out of the ring. Like, I think he do, and I think that's why he's been avoiding certain styles for so long.
He looks like he got the Mike Tyson thing in him. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you know, like it's even more simple than that, Lo. I think he got a bully mentality.
Yeah,
you know, like bullies. If you let bullies, they'll whoop your ass. Like if you really let them, and they feel like they got your heart, they whoop your ass every time. But when you step to them and actually punch them in their mouth and show them like this shit ain't about to be sweet. Yeah. Bro, they start to back off the block.
They look in your eyes and they feel like, yo, he shot.
Yeah. And you can see like they not really like that. They only will do what you allow them to do.
Yeah. They play on fear. You know, some fighters don't care. Like Mike Tyson was one of them type of guys, man.
Yeah, Mike beat a lot of niggas. Look, man, Mike beat a lot of niggas before they got in the ring because he was like his aura would just terrify people. We seen it happen.
Yeah.
Holyfield was on that Lamont shit. Like, oh, y'all scared of this nigga? Nah, we ain't doing none of that. And Holyfield stepped to him.
He's trying to get dirty with him. He's gonna get dirty.
Oh yeah.
Same way with the
Oh yeah.
When Tank did that little dirty move when he hit him with his shoulder.
Yeah. Lamont
wasn't happy, bro.
Lamont was punching right in his shit. Like, no, we ain't doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like he ain't allowed Tank to disrespect him. He'll come right back at him. Like it was a different type of mentality that Tank never seen before. And you know, Tank was feeling it, bro. That knee wasn't about no fucking hair grease, cuz I don't give a fuck what nobody say. And I went back and I watched the full fight this morning, bro. I got up at like 9 a.m. I was watching the fight, right? When that shit happened, bro, he talking about how grease got in his eye and shit, and then he went and had the corner wipe his face. Bro, when they wiped his face, it wasn't even a thorough enough wipe to get grease up out his eyes.
What you think it was, man? What you think it was?
I have no idea, bro. Like, I think it was like one of those, I think it was like to me, it seemed like some type of tactic to just get more time on his side. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, it was just super weird. Like,
I mean, I agree and I disagree, right?
Okay.
I disagree because I didn't really see nothing there that hit him. So maybe he did have grease go in his eye. But then again, I've seen Tank get distracted and do some crazy shit. Like when he fought Luis Garcia, he got distracted and started watching all that nonsense that was going on in the crowd with Meek Mill. Remember that?
Yeah. He do little shit like that. Like he do little tactics to have a little more time on his side. He over there arguing with the ref. That give him like an additional 10 seconds. Then he'll like it's a lot of shit that Tank be doing, bro. Be a lot of shit Tank be doing.
And remember these guys, right? The guys that they always say his rivals, the main rivals. They say Devin, Teo, Shakur. Those are the main guys, right? Mm-hmm. And they always link up, right? He's been in there with all of them in the gym. I never seen the sparring between him and Shakur. I never seen it.
No.
But I heard it was competitive. I seen the sparring with Devin the first time. It looked like he was beating up Devin. The second time they showed it, and he actually got tired. The thing with Teo, he got the best of Teo, but Teo was touching him up, and Teo was a little kid at the time.
They was young. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't really care about that. So that's Tank, like young shit.
But the point is, Tank knows these niggas is the problem. And he see what they're doing, right? Like, he been avoiding Lomachenko for a long time. Like, Floyd used to use Lomachenko as punishment. Like, I'm going to put you to fight Loma, right?
Yeah, whenever they was on bad terms, he would talk about Loma.
He watching his young boy. He watching Teo and Devin call Lomachenko out when they're young and fighting them and beating them when they're young. Right. So that's got away in his mind. And let me tell you, the Tank, the way he fought that night, I'm not saying Loma beats him because Loma doesn't like power. You know what I mean?
Nah, he don't. But he get gunshot.
Loma gonna touch him up though. Loma don't like body shots. He don't like power. But best believe Roma gonna piece him up. Like however that fight plays out, I got Tank winning that fight. Honestly, I'm not gonna sit on Tank just because of this fight. I still think Tank beats a lot of dudes. But best believe Loma's gonna piece him up, and he's gonna be in the fight, and he's gonna know that, and his heart's gonna be tested.
Yep. And Loma, he gets stronger as them rounds go on. He start turning it up. Right around the time Lamont turned it up. And Loma punching combinations too. So that shit.
And Loma got underrated power. People sleep on Loma's power.
Yeah.
Loma got power. He got underrated power.
He stopped a lot of niggas, bro. He stopped you to the body or the head. Like it don't.
And one thing we can say about Loma's consistent, bro. Because even in his losses, right? He put up a good fight. He lost to Teo. He came on. I gave him 3 of the last 4 rounds, right?
Yeah.
He did good. And he fought Devin. That was a close fight. A lot of people felt he won. I thought it was close. Loma's not just getting beat by anybody like that. And the guys that Loma was supposed to beat, with the exception of Jermaine Ortiz, he ain't played with his food. Jermaine gave him a rumble. Everybody else, he made sure that you are not on his level. And he let you know that. Look what he did to Cambosis.
Yeah. He beat the shit out of Cambosis, bro.
Yeah, look what he did to everybody for, man. And he beat decisively.
Anonymous said Lamont was low-key bullying Tank on the inside and in the clinch too. He definitely was. He was pushing Tank back. He ripping shots to the body. It was a lot of shit. And then Tank don't like to fight in the clinch neither. I noticed that. Like he just want to hold you and he want the ref to split y'all up. Like he don't like that work in the clinch.
Let me change. He don't jab neither. I took a banana. He don't jab neither.
Mastermind 96. What up, brother? Boo says 7'5" Tank. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, look, man, if he saw it that way, you know what I mean? He probably swung one of those. There was some close rounds in the beginning. He could have easily swung a round or 2 Tank way. But
I gotta rewatch that fight because when I watched it, I wasn't scoring it. I was watching it as a fan. And I could swear that I gave Tank probably the first 4 rounds. So at the end of the day, watching the fight, just freestyling, I did have Tank ahead, right? But if that knockdown would have been probably ruled as a knockdown, then it probably would have been a draw. But at the same time, I could also see why people would say that Lamont won because it was a close fight. But I feel that Tank did. I had Tank ahead 115, 113. If it wasn't for the knockdown, but I gotta rewatch it. That's the same thing I did with the Devin Loma fight. When I first watched Devin and Loma, I was into it with emotion as a fan. You know, I'm not a Devin fan. I had Loma winning. When I watched it again, I'm like, wait a minute. I had Devin winning 115, 113. And I say that because Loma fucked up by not following up the last couple of rounds. So sometimes I gotta watch the fight over. You know what I mean? But like I said, I think Tank won slightly, but I gotta watch it again to do a better assessment.
Right. So Bella actually, she made a comment and actually is going to turn into a question for me. Do you think that New York going to overturn the decision?
I mean, they already overturned the decision with Devin Haney, right? So New York showed that they do that.
I feel like they had no choice though. Like if they would have allowed Ryan to keep a win after testing positive for PEDs, I think they would have faced a lot of criticism and it probably would have fucked up a lot of business for them. But this right here, you know, they might just let Tank slide because they don't want to fuck up that bag they could get from Tank in the future.
Yeah, but look at this though, right? Not only do they have a case to score the knockdown based on other knockdowns in the past that were similar, then you also have Calvin Ford getting on the apron. That's also a disqualification joint right there too.
That's a fact.
So they have a lot of things. Yeah, you got possible disqualification.
There's too much going on. Yeah, they got too much going against them.
It could be ruled as a DQ. It could be ruled as a unanimous decision, or it could go down as a no contest. Either way, they got to run it back. You can't play.
My thing is that let's say they turn it into a no contest, like. That don't really. I don't even think the no contest makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like there's only one or two options that make the most sense. Either it's a DQ or you scoring at a 10-8 round and you make Lamont the winner. Either way, Lamont's the winner in the most, sensible situations. I don't know, bro, but I think that if they would have overturned it, they would have been did it by now. How long it take for y'all to investigate 10 seconds of film?
Lamont just officially turned into a full-blown rival. Tank turned him into one of those guys now. He got to fight that dude.
He turned into a name too.
Yeah, and he's not no Kambosos. He's obviously more better than Kambosos. So this is not going to be somebody. Now I'm not saying Lamont beats everybody else, but Lamont's not going to be a Kambosos. You can see that with your own eyes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But he got to fight him, bro. When Chavez lost to Frankie Randall, they ran it back. When Shane Mosley lost to Vernon Forrest, they ran it back. When Floyd had those close fights, he ran it back.
Facts.
Right now,
even recently with Oshaki and Kansei, they ran it back.
Yo, you know what's crazy? Somebody was telling me about, she got the best cards and all that. They didn't grow up in my time. In order to have anything remotely close to what I've seen, right? Because back in the Don King days, we had the rematch card, right? In order to match that today, to do a modern day rematch card, listen to this, bro. You gotta do Tank Lamont Part 2. You gotta do Adames versus Hamza Part 2. Devin Ryan Part 2. And throw in one of the fight was controversial or that's worthy of a rematch that went down.
Russell and Puello.
If you put all those in one card, that's the only thing that can match what we had.
Ooh, that's a good ass card.
And we had that.
Yo, Lo, how about Sandor versus Tio?
If Sandor would have,
no, I'm fucking with you.
I ain't gonna lie to this day. I still want Kambosos Tio. I still want that. I'm gonna be honest with you, just to get that back in blood. And for Sandor, Tio, man, believe it or not,
Tio gotta step on Kambosos now. He got to. If they make that happen, Tio gotta stop him. Like there's no way.
The only thing about this is that people are gonna say, "Oh, he already got stopped." But I want that fight just to get him, just to have that own peace of mind. You know what I mean? And he wanted that fight. He tried to get that fight. Kambosos ducked him.
Yeah, man. Shit.
Kambosos living off that win, man, to this day.
Bro, he made a whole. Bro, he able to retire off that opportunity, bro. Like this.
Crazy. Yo, bro, you can't argue. You're not being that dude on Twitter. Let me tell you. He's fast with it. Very witty.
On what?
On Twitter. Like, you ever see
he be talking greasy. He be talking greasy for sure.
He can talk good one.
Yeah, he be talking mad shit.
He's very intelligent verbally, man. I'll give it to him.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Shit. Let's get into some open boxing topics. Lo, you got anything else you want to say to the people?
Not really. I'm about to wrap it up right now, man. I just got the clip, just got out of work, man.
Oh, all right, man. I'll holler at you, bro. I appreciate you coming on.
No more, man.
Yes, sir.
Can I tell everybody where they can find me at?
Oh, yeah. Tell them. Let them know.
You can find me on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok as well. Low Nose Boxing. You know what I mean? That being said, y'all have a good one, man.
All right,
Thank
you too, brother.
I have to let that Tank talk off, because everybody was like, "Oh, Tank got robbed and all that." I mean, this dude got robbed. It was close, man.
No, it was close.
A robbery is lopsided.
Right.
A controversial decision and a robbery is two different things. That was controversial. It wasn't a robbery. Except for the knockdown.
For sure.
One.
All right, brother. I'll holler at you. Shout out to Low Nose Boxing, man. One of my guys. But let's get into some open boxing topics before I get up out of here, man. We about an hour in. We got 26 people with 25 likes. Hit the like button, man. It don't cost you to show a nigga love. What's going on, man? You said, honestly, I had that 7-5 Roach without the knockdown. I mean, 7-5, you know what I mean? Especially if you had some like real close rounds that could have went either way. You know what I mean? That's still an iffy bout in a sense. But, you're not the only person I heard say that. I heard Who the fuck? Tim Bradley. I think Tim Bradley has said the same shit. Like he won without the knockdown. That's what Tim Bradley said from what I heard. Go 787 said, "Can you see Subriel Matias versus Hitchens being similar to Matias versus Hawkins?" Yeah, I do. I see exactly what you're saying because Hawkins was like this out. He was like this. Hawkins had some pop as well, but he had like this out boxer type style. You feel what I'm saying? And he didn't really like to engage in like real fights like brawls and shit like that. My son coughing and shit, man. He getting sick. But fuck. That's bad. Shit, my fault. This shit threw me off. But it can go that way. I do think Hitchens is a better, more disciplined boxer than Hawkins. So I think it'll be a little bit more of a task for Subriel. But Subriel, if he plays his cards right, if he applies that pressure and he turns up early, you know what I mean, and places those body shots real good and leaves Hitchens with no other choice but like to fight off the ropes and shit like that, he could really pack Hitchens up. I'm telling you, like Hitchens not gonna be able to stand in front of Matias and have like a clean fight. You know what I mean? Like I said, anybody that fights Subriel, whether you beat him or whatever the case is, even if you may knock him out, you're gonna have to go. You might have to go through a little bit of hell to, get that decision you're looking for. You feel me? Nate Johnson says, "It feels good to be a boxing fan. I can openly brag to casuals. My coworkers be asking me boxing questions now more than ever. I've noticed an uptick in that too as well, my brother. Like, before, like probably like a year or two back, nobody was really talking about boxing. And if they was talking about boxing, they would talk about why they don't watch boxing. You feel me? But since Turki Al-Sheikh has been coming in and making great competitive fights, I'm seeing more posts now on Sports Center, and it's starting to hit the mainstream a little bit more from what I've noticed. And now, I'm known as like the boxing guy amongst my friends and shit like that. And they seem to ask me a lot of questions about boxing now. Like, yo, what you think about that dude Shakur, man? You think he could beat Tank? Well, what you think about yo, man? I heard Devin and Ryan going rematch. What you think, man? Like little shit like that. And it's starting to become more and more of like a conversation, which it wasn't like that before. So I've noticed a uptick in people asking me more about boxing. And it's probably because we get in the competitive fights that we want. And as a result, the sport is starting to become more popular. West Philly Tour, what up? Who is Rolly's trainer for this fight? I think it is Ismael Salas, from what I understand. This nigga Slime tripping. I'm about to time him out. You don't even got a wrench. Don't get packed up, nigga. Nate Johnson said, "It's okay. My son was sick too. Just gave him some steam, honey, and lots of liquids. Hope he getting well." Thank you, brother. I don't think he's sick exactly yet. But like when his grandma gave him to me, she said how he got a cough and how he may possibly get sick. I've been monitoring him. And he don't seem like he's getting a fever or anything like that. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully he just got a cough or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I gave him some cough medicine right before he went to sleep. So about like 2 hours ago. And I don't know, man. He's still like he's in his sleep. He's still coughing. So I don't know if that medicine is actually working. I might need to give something a little stronger or something. I don't know. Hitchens be standing in the pocket for a little long. That's just gonna leave him in more danger with somebody heavy-handed and with the volume that Matias has. You know what I mean? Y'all got any more questions before I get up out of here, man? Let me see where the subscribers at right now. Let's see where the subscribers at. Let me see. We actually at the mid 2,600 mark. This is probably the quickest I've gotten to a mid mark, like in terms of like getting to the 50 area of a subscriber count in a very long time. My subscriber count is going through the roof. This shit is a blessing, bro. God damn. This is crazy. Nate Johnson said, hopefully Turkey could keep this up for the next 70 years. Damn. You don't seem too optimistic about Turki Al-Sheikh, do you? Shit. Hitchens wanted to be a part of the show bad. Y'all saw that? I think that was pretty smart on Hitchens' behalf because he knows that it's a card that has a lot of eyes on it. It got some big names on it. So why not attach yourself to that event? Even if you're not on it, why not stir up, some shit? Like when Shannon Briggs used to go to Vladimir Klitschko's press conferences out in Europe, he used to make sure that he was spoken about, even when he was looking for a fight with Klitschko, but in case Klitschko won't fight him, at least his name will be attached to the event. You see what I mean? So it's great marketing for sure. A lot more marketing. Get this to 2,000 likes. I'll shave my eyebrows. That's some wild shit. Even for a multi-billionaire, that's got to be hard to shell out all that money without much coming back. But again, it's the Saudis. Their money is near infinite. Yeah, man. And it's like the money, and you got to think about, like, I don't know how much they make in a day, but I'm sure with the type of money that they make, they probably make that money back that they lost within a few hours or within a couple days. You feel me? So let me see. What? Saudi Arabia is making $1 billion from oil exports every day. This is by the Bloomberg.com. Saudi Aramco posts record $668 million in profit in one day. WorldOil.com. Saudi Arabia is making $1 billion from oil exports every day. Oil giant, Saudi Aramco company makes 700 million in profit every single day. Bro, they not tripping about losing no boxing money, cuz. Trust me. What the fuck? This nigga timed out himself. That nigga, that's an angry nigga. That's an angry nigga. If you time out yourself, you got some like that just mean you just want smoke that bad that you willing to hurt yourself. That's crazy. If you want smoke so bad, like if you want to punch on a nigga so bad and you just swing on yourself, that's the equivalent of what Slime just did. Like, man, who the fuck, who the fuck, hold up, nigga. Use your wrench responsibly, my brother. You're supposed to hit other people with that, not yourself. That's not a good feeling. Anyways, listen, man. With the type of money that they're making, I see why Turkey Al-Sheikh not tripping about spending a few million on a boxing event. They making that shit back within a couple hours from what I see, or maybe within a few minutes. Did y'all hear what I said, bro? They made the big oil company, Saudi oil giant Aramco. I don't know if Turkey Al-Sheikh's associated with this, but most likely he is. $121 billion in profit in 2023. Saudi's making $1 billion from oil exports every day. I see why it's been so effortless for Turkey Al-Sheikh to get himself in boxing. He's throwing money away because he know he gonna get that back. Bro, if y'all know y'all gonna get a check for $50,000 and y'all got, let's say you got $1,000 in your bank account or whatever the case is, you ain't gonna trip about losing that. You ain't gonna trip about losing $500 out there, motherfucker, because you know that $50,000 about that. You know that check about to clear. You wouldn't give a fuck to spend. That's how Turkey Al-Sheikh looking at it. Like, man, we gonna make that shit back in a couple days, or we gonna make that shit back in a couple hours anyway. Like, we ain't really tripping. He not really looking for no return on investment. He doing this shit strictly off the love and, with the intention of getting people to, visit their country. This nigga is typing from 2 different accounts and smacking himself with the wrench. Nate Johnson said, I actually applied for a job at Riyadh season. Doing what? Tell them niggas I want to be a commentator. I promise I won't curse. I promise I won't say no out of pocket shit. We can just keep this shit boxing. But while I'm on here, I'm gonna be myself. But when it's time to turn that professional switch on, we got it. I wish I had a direct line to Turkey. You know who I got? You know who I got a direct line with though? Do you know who I got a direct line with though that I could probably do something? Eddie Hearn. I have a direct line to Eddie Hearn, but I've never used it. I got a lot of these boxing dudes' number, and I never use it, bro. Shit is crazy. We got Eddie Hearn number a long time ago, bro. Yeah, bro, and when we had Tito Mercado come to our gym, you know what I mean? We ain't charged them nothing. And in return, bro, they heard we had some professional fighters, bro. They gave us a direct line to Eddie Hearn. As like a thank you. Shit is crazy, man. I spoke to Rolly. Goofy ass. Let me see what he said. I spoke to him. He said next 2 weeks is busy with conferences. We could do after that. He wrote that on Saturday. So in the next couple of weeks, we'll have Rolly Romero on for sure. Nate Johnson said Tito Mercado is next up. Would like to see him fight Alfredo Santiago. He just fought and stopped Javier Fortuna. You don't think Tito Mercado could get a bigger name than that? Do I have a lot of fighters' numbers? Nah. I got a lot of trainers' numbers. I don't really be talking to these boxing dudes, bro. Like, for example, I think the only boxer I got that y'all know is Rolly. And he didn't voluntarily give me that number. I found that shit. I got Steve Cunningham Jr., but y'all don't know him yet. I got Bozy. Let me see. I got YSM. He not a boxer though. It's a lot of trainers, y'all. Ain't nobody y'all would know. Y'all would know they fighters, but you know, obviously I got Bomac number. Another trainer, Breadman number. Pros. Let me see. Yeah, that's about it. I got a promoter's number. Well, a former promoter. I still got Southpaw number, Goofy. Yeah, that's about it. I don't really got too many people number. I can't believe that dude really said keep brushing chin. That's some wild shit. That's like world class dick eating. Like that's like in Philly, that's what you call like a certified muncher. Like that's some wild shit. Mark got AJ number on there too. Man, you know, I don't know. I think AJ too sensitive to have a conversation with me. You know what I mean? This nigga said the Burger King. Slime, you ain't got much room to talk. Y'all niggas are probably about the same weight. Y'all ain't too far off from each other. What's wrong with you, Slime? That's fat on fat crime, my nigga. I think of Broner when I hear hairbrush. He He got on one knee for the shorty, and he was like, hold on, y'all, I want y'all to hear this. May you brush my hair? I was like, yo, this nigga Broner is a clown. AJ gonna get mad. Yeah, he ain't gonna do shit though. He gonna be, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna let that nigga touch me. I'll end that nigga life before he put his hands on me. Fuck all that. I ain't about to fight no Anthony Joshua. Yeah, Slime be tripping. I got an AJ tattoo on my leg. That shit is bad, bro. I'm about to go attend to my son, bro. I gotta see what I can do about this. I'm about to see if I can get some medication that could stop that shit. You feel me? It says, how did you beat me? Pause. Yeah, I remember AJ said that shit to Usyk. How did you beat me? How did you beat me? Oh my God, that's fucking hilarious. But that's a crazy pause though. Like, if a nigga tat that on themselves with AJ face, oh my God. Slime is out of control, y'all. But we just gonna end with that. Y'all have a blessed, beautiful night. I appreciate everybody that came through. We had some great boxing talk. Shout out to my boy Low Nose Boxer for being my co-host for the day. You said Danny Garcia just signed a kid named David King Garcia. I might have to look into that because I'm not familiar with that person. But regardless, this is Mazuma TV. I hope y'all have a blessed, beautiful night. If you enjoy the boxing talk, the comedy, you know what I'm saying, and all that good stuff, hit the subscribe button, man. This is where the real and knowledgeable stay. Until then, y'all have a blessed, beautiful one. I'll be back at y'all with another live around this 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Wednesday night. Be on the lookout for that one. Until then, y'all have a beautiful one, man. Peace.